after this incident, Dobson decided to have all of his staff members to keep an eye on Zeb. On that day, roughly 300 people were killed during Zeb's rampage. And it took a while for them to rebuild everything after his rampage. Luckily, they never had a repeat, because they never had any other intentions of making any other apex predators. However, all the other dinosaurs began running from him, all except for one, the Therizinosaurus, and this guy became the only real dinosaur that stood its ground against the Giganotosaurus. Some are beginning a new rivalry. The Therizinosaurus was somewhat the only dinosaur that the Giga struggled to actually kill. And this was mostly due to its claws, and at the time it had a few friends. But in the present day, it's revealed that the Giga had killed them all one by one. Cut back to the present day, and we get the scene where Owen and Claire, along with their new ally, escaping from the Atrociraptors. The rest of the movie plays out similar, except for the scene where Rexy meets Zeb and has her first kind of fight with him. When the Giga meets Rexy, he can tell that she's an elder Rex, and knows that one day she's going to die due to her old age. So instead of killing her, he lets her live, but pushes her aside to take the deer. But when she refuses to leave, he bites her face and gets her to leave. However, when he bends down to grab the deer carcass, he stops and slowly, very creepily turns his head and sees Owen and his new ally. They freeze in fear because of his bloodshot eyes. That is what's terrifying them the most. This dinosaur has bloodshot eyes. And the fact that he knows they're there, but he's not doing anything, and he's just staring at them. He stares at them for a good couple of minutes before finally leaving them alone. Owen says Allosaurus, and of course, his new ally corrects him and says Giganotosaurus. Owen says, "There's something not right about that dinosaur, and I don't like it." However, for they can agree on one thing, it was very creepy and terrifying to see the Giga turning its head to look at them, only to reveal its bloodshot eyes. Meanwhile, the other events that happened in the movie, like Maisie escaping in Dr. Wu along with Beta, and her running into Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, and of course the Dimensionodon scene still happens. The only thing that changes is the group reuniting and, of course, their encounter with Zeb. When the group reunites, they hear a loud roar and they see the Giga returning. Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm get a good long look at it, and its bloodshot eyes especially freak them out the most. This also makes Claire hair freeze up a bit when she sees its bloodshot eyes. It just stares at them for a good long moment. They don't move, and of course the Giga approaches them, but pushes them around. In fact, he pushes them around constantly, and they can even hear it kind of roaring as if it was laughing. It was enjoying it. Then it finally got bored and decided to try to kill our heroes. with them barely escaping from the Giga. Unlike in the movie where they managed to scare off the Giga, this time the Giga leaves, but not because they scared it off, because it was getting bored, or then decided to go find something else to do. The rest of the movie plays out similar except for the final battle. Dodson comes back and wants Maisie and Beta to come back with him. The group refuses, and he was about to kill them until suddenly he gets picked up by the Giga. The Giga tosses him to the side, and Dodson tries to get away, but the Giga uses its foot and crushes his legs. As he screams in pain, the Giga is enjoying it. For the first time, everyone can see the dark personality that the Giga truly has. And Claire says the line, "This thing is worse than the Indominus Rex." As the Giga is enjoying its moment, Rexy comes in and roars at the Giga. The Giga turns around and kind of gives off a little shrug until Rexy roars again. This time, the Giga is finally getting annoyed by Rexy and decides to try to teach her a lesson. But not before he eats Dodson alive. The two have their famous circle, and Alan Grant delivers the line of "This isn't about us." The two apex predators fight, but instead of focusing on the humans trying to get away and the dinosaurs fighting in the background, this time the dinosaurs are fighting and the humans are trying to get away in the background. Rexy apparently seems to be winning, but it's revealed that the Giga was only just pretending to let Rexy win because it felt bad for her because of her old age. He finally decides to stop playing around and grabs Rexy by the neck and slams her down to the ground so hard it knocks the poor Rex unconscious. Of course, our heroes try to leave, but Claire convinces them to stay behind to help her save Rexy. Of course, they were reluctant at first, but they eventually agreed when Claire mentions that the Giga is not really an apex predator, it's a monster. Because she saw several dead dinosaurs and how the way they were killed and eaten. Some of them weren't even eaten at all. Well, the Giga was doing the exact same thing what the Indominus Rex did. They managed to somewhat scare the Giga off when Alan Grant was managed to somehow get a fire and toss it into the Giga's mouth before he can kill Rexy. The Giga just screams in pain and walks away. They managed to use the helicopter and bring Rexy to a secure location far away from the Giga's reach. They were debating on how they were going to get Rexy back up on her feet. And Claire has an idea about a blood transfusion in order to get Rexy back to full health. However, Alan Grant was a little reluctant to help Rexy considering she did try to kill him back in 1993. The group somewhat gets into an argument when Alan Grant just wants the T-Rex to die. After mentioning that she's way too old and that Giga is way too strong and way too powerful. The argument comes to a halt when Dr. Wu comes in and reveals that there is a way to stop the Giga. At first, the group was hesitant to listen to him, but eventually agree when he mentions that there could be a real way to how to stop the Giga. He reveals that Biosyn was bringing in Asta-87 along with the Buck and Doe Rex, along with a fully grown Junior. Zeb does not know about them yet, but if they can bring them close to Zeb's territory, they might be able to stop him. And of course, they need more help. Claire decides to go get the Atrociraptors while Owen tries to go get Blue. Ian Malcolm's a little uncomfortable on trying to get Buck and Doe back, considering he still remembers them after what they tried to do to him back in 1997. But after seeing what the Giga was doing to the valley, he finally decides to put the past behind him and save the remaining dinosaurs from Zeb's tyranny. Owen was managed to convince Blue, along surprisingly with her mate. Her mate, on the other hand, was a little reluctant to go, considering he does not trust humans. And Claire was a little convinced Sonia Santos, I hope I got her name right, to let her use her Atrociraptors to stop the Giga. She is also given the device to somewhat command the Atrociraptors on which target they want to attack. After this, Ian Malcolm was successful in bringing Buck and Doe along with Junior, near Zeb's territory. And Dr. Wu was successful in bringing Asta-87 near to Zeb's territory. After this, all they had to do was let them wander into the territory a bit further and hopefully see if they will be successful on wanting to fight the Giga. Back with Rexy, the blood transfusion was successful and Rexy was back to full health. They managed to bring her, Blue, Beta, Blue's mates, and the Atrociraptors into Biosyn Valley. At first, Rexy refuses to go back into the valley after being literally destroyed by the Giga. The Giga reveals itself once again, but this time fighting the Therizinosaurus. The Therizinosaurus was struggling with the Giga and remembering what it did to its family in the past, killing them all one by one and just leaving their bodies there behind and letting other carnivores eat their bodies instead of eating it himself. Owen gives Blue the whistle, whistles to Blue, telling her to attack, and her mate follows. Claire uses the device and points it at the Giga and commands the Atrociraptors to attack the Giga as well, giving the Therizinosaurus some backup.